Hi yogis, welcome back to my yoga YouTube channel. Today I would like to do a little bit of hips and hamstrings oriented class. So the hips are joints which bear really a lot of weight, but they don't get moved in the whole range of motion normally during the day, especially those of you who have just like me an office job. Although now in COVID-19 it's rather home office job, but still we sit a lot during the day. So yeah, I would like to do a class where we stretch a little bit the hip flexors, the hamstrings, the quads, but we also strengthen the hips, the little stabilization muscles, etc. So when you're ready, just roll to your mat and I'll see you there. So today we'll start in child's pose. So up to you, you can bring the knees a little bit wider for more space or a little bit more closer to each other for more support for your lower back. This is up to you. So when you're ready, just come forward. I'll keep my head a little bit up in order to talk to the mic, but you should have your forehead on the ground. And just start focusing on your breath. You don't need to control it, just observe. Breath is our connection between the conscious and unconscious mind. And you can probably notice that whenever you focus on your breath, you begin to calm down and really come to the present moment. So really use the breath to be present. Also during the class, use it as your anchor to always come back to here and now. Doesn't matter what has been happening during the day or what is still waiting for you. You already cleared the space in your schedule for this class. So really be present, not only physically, but also mentally on your mat. Just a few more deep breaths. Beautiful. And then slowly come up into sitting and come to tabletop position. So bring your hands underneath your shoulders and your knees underneath your hips. And from here we'll do a little bit of cat-cows. So with inhale, rise your head up and your sit bones high, opening the chest. And with exhale, roll down. Press against the mat with your hands, making also space between the shoulder blades. And again, inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Beautiful. Now let's take out your left arm and your right leg. And with inhale, again, just rising slightly up. And with exhale, bring the knee and elbow together. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. And come back to middle and exchange. Right arm, left leg. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. And come back to middle again. Let's come to our down dog. Tuck your toes and come up. So keeping again hands shoulder distance apart, feet hip distance apart. And you should always try to have straight spine as much as possible. So rather having a little bit bent legs and heels not completely on the ground, but the spine is really prolongating and sit bones are rising high, rather than something like this. So try to find your own variation where you feel that it's really working. Also always think ribs and navel in, so we don't want to see completely something like this, ribs and navel in, but sit bones rising high. Also keep space around your shoulders, try to not have internal rotation, spaced. The fingers are really gripping, the base knuckles are rooted into the ground. Down dog can be hard work. Let's just take 2 more breaths here. Beautiful. And just step forward towards your fingers and take hold of your opposite elbows and just hang a little. And then release and roll up. And exhale. Beautiful. We'll do some salutations. So bring your feet together, little space between your heels. And then hands to the sides, Tadasana. Inhale, hands above. Exhale, fold forward. And with inhale, right leg steps back. Exhale, plank. And you can lower down your knees and come down to Chaturanga. Inhale, just a little cobra. And exhale again through the knees, back to down dog. Beautiful. Again, let's take 2 breaths here. Traditionally it's 5, but we'll shorten it a little bit. Always think about the integrity, all the basics of how the pose should look like, all the muscles which should be engaged. And then inhale, right leg step forward. Exhale, both legs forward. Inhale all the way up. And exhale. We'll do the same from the left side. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, left leg back. Exhale, plank. And lower knees, Chaturanga. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Again, let's hold for 2 breaths here. Sit bones rising high, navel in. No compression around the neck, beautiful long. And then inhale, left leg steps forward. Exhale down. Inhale all the way up. Exhale. Once again, inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, right leg back. Exhale, step back plank. This time you can go Chaturanga without knees. Come forward and lower down. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Beautiful. Inhale, right leg forward, big step. And this time let's hold here. Bring the left knee to the ground, Anjaneyasana. So you can untuck the toes, or you can keep them tucked to protect the knee a little bit, up to you. Bring the torso over hips, still keeping engagement in the core. And inhale, rise, hands up. Don't forget to also engage the inner thighs, so you're energetically pulling the legs towards each other. And exhale, both arms to the ground and big step forward. Inhale up. Exhale. The same from left side. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, left leg back. Exhale, plank. And again, you can do chaturanga without lowering the knees, up to you. In that case, first shift forward and then lower down. Inhale, down up dog or cobra. And exhale, down dog. Beautiful. Inhale, left leg step forward, and again we'll stop here, bring the right knee to the ground. And let's do Anjaneyasana. The toes can be untucked or tucked, up to you. Bring the torso over the hips, so the feet are drawing energetically towards each other. The hips are squared. And inhale, rise the hands up. Beautiful. And exhale, both hands to the ground and big step forward. Inhale all the way up. And exhale. Beautiful. Inhale. Exhale. Careful change. Inhale, Ardha, so halfway up. And with exhale, either step or jump, plank and chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Very good. Let's try to start working more on our hips. So with inhale, raise your right leg up. Let the foot fall down towards your butt and open the hips. Scorpion pose. Try to keep both shoulders square, so don't open the right shoulder. And then come back to middle, and let's just do some circles with the leg. And in the opposite direction. Beautiful. Back to middle. And let's step forward. So come up on the ball of the foot. Really hips as high as possible. Foot towards your butt as high as possible. And step forward. Very good. Let's do again Anjaneyasana. So the knee on the ground. And this time come from the inner side. Both arms from the inner side. The right knee goes towards the outer edge. And if possible, let's try to take hold of our left foot. And looking up towards the sky. So you should also be pulling your left foot towards your butt, stretching the quad really nicely. And if this is not too much of a sensation for you, if you want the next challenge, you can come on your elbow. Wherever you are, just take a few breaths. One more inhale. And exhale, release. And again, come around with your right arm. And this time pull the hips back. So we'll do half split, Ardha Hanumasana. Inhale, prolong the spine, and exhale, lower down. Try to always have the hips squared, so pulling the right hip back, and the spine is prolonging, so not just crawling under, but really long, forward and down. You should feel nicely the stretch in the calves and in the hamstring. And then inhale, come forward again. Tuck the toes if you don't have them tucked. And then rise up into high lunge. Yep. Very good. You can come a little bit lower probably than you are. And with inhale, straighten the right leg. And exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. And exhale down. Beautiful. Join your palms together. Shorten the stand a little bit if you need to. And from here, come into warrior 3. So always, if you have trouble balancing, find one point, the drishti, one focus point that will help you with the balance. Engage also the left foot in the air. Make again sure that the hips are squared. And then bring the left knee towards your chest. And let's take number 4. So crossing the left leg over the right leg and lowering down. This time stretching the left glutes. Should feel really nice. So if you don't really feel anything, come a little lower. You shouldn't, though, ever in yoga feel sharp pain, so find a sweet spot. And release. Very good. Beautiful. Hip distance apart with the feet again. You can bring the hands into your hips. Inhale, look up. Exhale down. Bring the fingers around your big toes. So wrap them around your big toes. And with the inhale, just halfway up. And with the exhale, pull yourself a little bit closer. So this is something where you might still have the knees a little bit bent. That's completely fine. You can also use just your shins, not the big toes. So the point is we want to, again, stretch the back of our legs, the hamstrings and the calves. So the variation which suits you, important on inhale, straighten the spine. On exhale, pull yourself closer. Really use the front, so the core, to pull yourself closer, as well as the hands. But of course, still also prolonging the spine, so the top of the head wants to go down. Just a few more breaths. Beautiful. Inhale again, halfway up. Exhale, step or jump, plank or chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. And exhale, down dog. Very good. So we can take, again, just 2 breaths here. And then raise your left leg. We'll do the same from the left side. So let the hip open, scorpion pose. And again, push the left shoulder down to keep the shoulders square. We don't want something like this. And then let's do a few circles with the left leg in the air. In one direction. And in the other direction. Beautiful. Come to middle. And again, we'll take a big step forward. So come on the ball of the foot. Bring the hips really high. Pushing through the arms. And step forward. Bring the right knee down. And this time we'll come from the inside, both arms. And once again, so bring in the left knee more towards outside and reaching for the right foot. And looking up towards the ceiling, towards the sky. Bring in the right foot more closer to your butt so that you feel the right quadricep. And if this is not enough challenge, you can always come on your elbow. So wherever you are, just take a few breaths. Beautiful. And then release. Come again on both hands. Each hand from one side of the leg. And let's bring hips back towards half split at Hanumanasana. Good. So both hips are square. With inhale, prolong the spine. And with exhale, lower down. So again, this is up to you. You should always feel the nice stretch in the left calf and the hamstrings. But don't try to, put too much pressure on the lower back. Try to have the spine really nice and straight as much as possible. And it's completely fine also if you are somewhere right here. So the important is the feeling, not really the shape which you are making. And an inhale, rise up, come again forward, tuck the toes on the right foot if you don't have, rise the knee off the ground and come up into high lunge. So once again, you can probably come a little deeper than you are right now. And an inhale, straighten the left leg and exhale down. Inhale, straighten. Exhale down. Inhale, straighten. Exhale down. Join the palms in front of your heart, and you can maybe shorten the stand a little bit and come into warrior 3. So once again, find one balance point, one focus point. It will help you with the balance. Engage the right foot, the foot in the air. And then bring the right knee towards your chest. And with exhale, cross over left leg, coming into number 4. So this time we are stretching the right glutes. And again, find the point where you feel the stretch nicely working, but it's not sharp pain or something like this. Very good. Just one more deep inhale. Deep exhale. Inhale, rise up. And exhale, release. Very good. Left side done. So before we come to our seated positions, let's just take wide stand for our goddess pose. So we'll also work with our quads a little bit, open the hips to the sides. So this was so far everything more for the neutral shape of the pelvis, so with the hips, will open now to the sides. So with the feet wide apart, come down into goddess pose. So actually, again, we should be quite deep. I know this will hurt a little, but that's fine. We are really engaging the quadriceps. Maybe you can restart actually your Ujjayi breath if you lost it. Ujjayi breath is like breathing on a mirror. You really want to make the muscles around the throat a little bit squeezed, as if you would be doing, but with closed mouth. And the same for the inhalation, the same feeling. Good, and release. Beautiful. Maybe shorten the stand a little bit, and let's come into Malasana. So coming all the way down. If you feel like your hips are tight or you cannot really sit down, you can always bring some blanket or something underneath your heels. That should help. And then if possible, bring your hands together, pushing with the elbows into the knees. Try to have the spine as much straight as possible. I know that it's often rather somehow like this. That's fine, working towards it. Try to open the chest, open the collarbones. And then release and just sit down into butterfly. So bringing the feet together. And then with inhale, prolong the spine. And with exhale, lower down. Again, you are trying to pull forward, not just down. Prolong the spine. Inhale, rise up and come into probably the long side of the mat so that we can do Paschimottanasana, so stretching our hamstrings again. You can take a little bit of flesh out from your butt, and then inhale, prolong the spine again. Exhale, lower down. So in this pose, you can hold your shins, you can take hold of your big toes, the outer edge of your feet, or you can of course use a strap. That's a wonderful help. So if you are not really reaching the feet right now, that's fine. You can, with the strap, try to maintain nicely straight spine instead of trying to do something like this. And then by time, come closer and closer until one day you will not need it. So whichever option you have right now, just stay there for a few more breaths. You can again come take your Ujjayi breath. Beautiful. And then release, come up. And before we go really to lying down on our backs and to Shavasana, let's do just a little bit more of the glute stretches through pigeon pose. Just come to down dog as the starting pose. And from here, big step forward with your right leg. So here, make sure that your hips are squared. So if you need to, bring some block or some blanket underneath your right hip to offer support. We don't want something like this, so we want to be nicely squared with the hips. And if you feel comfortable and you want more challenge, you can always start bringing the shin more out. So it should be at the end in 90 degrees. For me, that's not really accessible right now, so I'm not going to do that, but up to you. So find your variation. Inhale, prolong spine, and exhale, lower down. So you should be feeling it nicely in your right hip, in the right glutes. And maybe this is a good moment again to find your Ujjayi breath. Try to really squeeze slightly the muscles around the throat. It should sound like waves coming in and out, like the ocean. Beautiful. Just one more deep inhale and exhale. And rise up again. Press against the mat with your hands and come back to down dog, exchanging the legs. So this time, left leg forward. And again, we want to square the hips. So you can also bring the shin out if you feel like, but first of all, hips square. You can use the blanket or the block underneath your left hip this time to support yourself, because this stretch can be really intense. And then inhale and exhale, lower down. So sometimes we tend to carry around the hips a lot of tension. And this is a really good stretch for releasing the tension. It's also used in yin yoga, where it's being held for much longer, for several minutes, depending on how advanced the class is. Don't forget to breathe your Ujjayi breath. And then again, rise up. Again, pressing into the mat with your hands, tucking your back toes. Come back to down dog. Beautiful. And just step forward and lie down on your back. And just before we go to Shavasana, let's do a little bit of twist for our spine. Twists are always good to integrate into your daily practice. So bring your right knee towards your chest and bring the right knee to your left side, looking into the right side. Twists are not only good for the spinal health, but they are also massaging the inner organs, stimulating everything. Always try to keep the shoulder on the ground and reaching with the knee towards the ground, so shoulder first. Beautiful. And come back to middle and exchange left knee towards your chest. And again, taking twist. And come back to middle. And maybe you can do a little bit of happy baby for the last pose. So taking the outer edge of your feet and bringing the knees to the sides of your body. And then just holding the feet there, and maybe you can rock a little bit from side to side. And I know this can, feel silly, but it is really nice and fun to pose to do. It's also nice for the hip joints. And beautiful. And then you can release the legs. This time really come into Shavasana. So let the feet fall to the sides, palms facing up, and let go. So releasing every single muscle in the body. And let go also of the control of your breath if you are doing the Ujjayi breath. We did today a little something for the happiness of our hip joints and our legs, hamstrings, quads. I hope it feels nice. With every exhale, really let go. Feel the ground beneath you, supporting you. And feel free to stay in Shavasana for as long as you would like. Thank you for joining me today. Namaste.